got one in New York, I need one in Georgia. New bitty cool, cause of course. What is up, my tribe members? Tammy, my sister, how are you? D. Muhammad, Perth O. How do you say her name? NTJO. I love all of y'all. I don't know if we can keep the names going up there, but my tribe members who are constantly in the comments, I love you guys. I love my tribe members. Let me tell you, my tribe members, that's my squad. Those are all the people who are subscribed to the channel. So if you don't know, I'm rolling real deep right now, okay? I'm rolling deep. I'm rolling deep. I got 495 tribe members. Somebody better see it. Y'all, they better see it. We rolling deep, y'all. We are rolling deep. And let me tell you something. If Tammy told me Karima pull up, I'm pulling up. If D. Muhammad said, Karima, pull up, I'm pulling up, okay? So don't mess with my squad. We are running deep, almost at 500. You guys know what happens? When we get to 500, YouTube is going to give us what's called a community tab. And once we get to community tab, I could communicate with you guys. So in between videos, I can upload something. I can tell you guys something. I can share a secret in the book from Elder Eden. I'm so happy that we are only 5 people away from having our very own community tab. Can you guys imagine us having the tribe community tab? So outside of my actual videos, especially when it takes me some time to get back to talk to you guys, I can talk to you guys right inside of the community tab. We're 5 away from it. YouTube gives you the community tab for your channel when you reach 500. Now 500 is a milestone, and I want to thank every last one of you guys who has shared, commented, liked, and vibed with me from the beginning. We are more than a year into this thing, okay? And many times I was like, absolutely not. I'm not wasting my time. I figured I could be writing, I can be doing something else, because you put a lot of work into your video and then you upload it and you get 2 views or you get 6 views. So we're long past that now, but YouTube is not and it's not easy to find your tribe. It's not easy to find your squad. But my squad has found me, and we are here, and we are 5 away from 500. And let me tell you something about my squad. Oh, we pulling up. I got a surprise from my squad. We are pulling up. We are pulling up. We are thick like grit snow. I should say thicker than oatmeal, honey. We are thicker than oatmeal, and I appreciate you guys. Listen. Today's video is going to be about the very beautiful rapper by the name of Saweetie. Go ahead and drop her right there. Now, if you guys don't know, Saweetie is a female rapper. And she did a show with Kevin Hart. She actually appeared on the Kevin Hart show. Now, Kevin Hart has a show called Heart to Heart. And she was actually on that show, and she talked to him. He interviewed her. He did very well interviewing, by the way. But what I want to share today in this video is a holistic perspective, okay? A holistic perspective on how femininity shows up, okay? And how there is an unwritten language between both the masculine and the feminine. And it is always happening, even outside of our circumstances. A perfect example of what I mean by outside of our circumstances is, in this case, Kevin Hart is a very married man, okay? You guys know how I feel about marriages and sacred unions. So this video is not to disrespect, to discredit, to dishonor, or to do any of those things to his marriage, because that's a very sacred union. What I want you guys to understand today is, in this video, what I am looking at is the Elder in Chief here on this channel. I'm strictly looking at the energy exchange that's happening between these two, and the body language skills that I know of that is taught as a legacy as Elder Eden, okay? So we are going to be looking at the body language that we see from both Kevin Hart and from Miss Saweetie. And like I said, this is not to discredit his marriage. What I want you guys to understand, especially during this whole femininity training, I want you guys to understand that there are primal instincts that's in each and every last one of us. Some of it is very much unconscious. It's unconscious behaviors that we exhibit when we are in the presence of a man or in the presence of a woman that either connects with us vibrationally energetically or connects with us energetically, or that I guess that's pretty much it. Either they connect with us, and regardless of what our circumstances are, i.e., married, i.e., boyfriend, i.e., friend, i.e., whatever, there's one thing that you can never change. And I tried to say this in my first book, the very, very first book. I think that was almost 25 plus years ago, the very, very first book. I've been explaining this for a while. I think I've said it to a few people, a few of you guys who talked to me. I said that there's one thing that no one can deny, and that is male and female attraction. And that is outside of, and it supersedes your circumstances, whether you be married or your situation, whether or not you're in the girlfriend. Natural human attraction. It is a natural primal thing to be attracted. Now, what you do with that attraction is what makes us not just it makes us, I don't want to say more superior being the animals and so forth, but I think you understand what I'm meaning, is that we have the ability to make an assessment of what we're presented with when it comes to the attraction, and we can decide whether or not acting on that attraction is going to cause harm to the one thing that we truly love and admire and honor, and that is either marriage, relationship, or whatever the circumstances are at that time. So I need you guys to understand that before we get into this video, because I don't want anyone to think that we are looking at a married man and a single woman, although that's very much the truth. What I'm looking at here is just a man and a woman and how they interact with one another. Like I said, these things are primal instincts. Most times they are subconscious behaviors that we see exhibited, and a lot of times, especially in men, they don't even know that they're doing it. But I talk about this in the Return of the Divine Feminine. I said that women can pick up on that. And the reason why women can pick up on those things fairly easy is because there's a whole chapter in my book, The Return of the Divine Feminine. Go ahead and drop it there. Return of the Divine Feminine, where I talk about the intuition and why women have a keen understanding, or not even understanding, but the way we are wired, we can pick up on things that are either out of place, mismatched, or we have a great attention to detail. So when something is moved or out of place, I said that in the book, a woman is most likely to see that. A man will think he fixed the place, but a woman can instantly come in and notify or notice that something is wrong with that picture. Something has been changed. That is what we call divine femininity, okay? When I say divine femininity, I mean the natural things that God gave both men and women. We're not talking about the stuff that you put on your body that makes you feminine. We're talking about the things that come from you. So, um, understand that we're looking at a man and a woman void of their circumstances. I want you guys to see this for what it is, and I want you to understand that you can always observe people and find out what's really going on when you're paying attention. Hence why I develop the Return of the Divine Feminine, so that women can tap more into that divine femininity, that divine gift that God had given us, so that we can use that. The first clip that I'm going to show you, first of all, let me just say it was an absolutely great video. It was a great video. It was a great interview. These two were a great interview. What I liked first off, the first thing that I recognized, okay, is that Sweetie did two things in her dress, and I'm gonna tell you why. She was um, dressed down on the top, uh, with jeans, so she was in a relaxed state. She wanted to be in a relaxed state. I believe it was intentional. She added these chandelier earrings on there so that you know that although she's dressed down, she has the capacity to bring it up a bit, okay? So I believe that whoever styled her or whoever got her dressed, whether it be herself or her stylist, I believe that was a deliberate action of you want to be relatable, and you want to be able to be relatable to not just the Kevin Hart watchers, but also to your traditional audience. So she had her pink hair and she had her very dressed down outfit, but somehow it still was not completely dressed down. There was still a sense of femininity in the way she crossed her leg and the thigh being exposed in the jean, and you could see the lines and the curves still within the body. I think it was a fantastic thing for them to do, which was to allow her to not be overly made up for this particular interview, but it allows us to see how vulnerable she's about to get. So when she came out, when Kevin Hart introduced her, which was a very great introduction, by the way. But when he introduced her and I saw her come out, I said, smart girl, smart management, smart team, whoever it is. I said, this is about to get deep. I knew that because she didn't have on a wig. She could have had that. Even when she cut her hair recently, but she's been wearing wigs to her shows and all that. But when she showed up with her short haircut, I knew she was about to be vulnerable. When she showed up in a relaxed dress, I knew she was about to be vulnerable. The girl is smarter than she lets on, okay? Which is what I enjoy about this part of femininity we're going to learn about today. So I knew she was coming out in a state of she wanted people to see the real her. She wanted to be able for them to connect to a story outside of the Quavo, outside of what we know about her, outside of Icy Girl, and outside of Tap 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 In. Outside of all of that, she wanted us to know that she had trauma, that she had some issues, that she grew up and essentially felt alone, which was a little bit of vulnerability, and that's what that shaved head, you know, was about being exposed. And I thought that was brilliant. It was fantastic. Um, the one thing that I noticed about her doing that, when you do that to a masculine man, I don't care who he is, when you are that vulnerable and you are that open, okay, what is going to happen is that that vulnerability is going to cause the masculine to move forward. And when I say move forward, it causes the masculine to move forward. I actually mean figuratively. I mean physically doing the action to come forward, because that damsel in distress or that understanding that you've been through some things. I'm going to show you this clip to show that I'm right, that she came in with a sense of vulnerability. She came in already planning that she was going to be that open and that vulnerable and to share her story. This was her moment to share her story, and to be revealing in a sense. And when she did that, when she was revealing in a sense, Kevin Hart, as the man, came forward naturally. This is what I mean when I say divine femininity. She was just doing one of the she was just doing what we do in nature, okay? When we become submissive. And today submissive it became a strange thing. I don't know what folks are calling submissive today, but it's actually quite alarming. But when I saw her relaxing that wall, that saweetie wall, and allowing herself to just be sweetie, I saw that she was able to allow that wall of vulnerability to come down, and quite naturally he came forward. And so what you're going to notice in this clip I'm about to show you is that for majority of this interview that Kevin Hart had with Sweetie, he was sitting up like this. His body was forward. He was leaning in. Whenever I see that happen in a masculine, whenever I see a man coming forward, that means one or two things. The first thing that it means is that I'm completely interested and I'm invested in what it is that you're saying, okay? The second thing that it naturally means is that you have already evoked in him the primal urge. So there is a natural attraction that happens that causes you to move forward. Now, when I'm going to go deeper in just a second, so I want you to hold on there and don't you dare say, Karima, he's married. I want you to hold on, park it right there so you can understand what I'm saying, okay? When he came forward, he remained that way for majority of the interview. When I went to make sure, because I wanted to make sure that what I was saying was correct, when I went back to all of his other videos, I saw the one with him and Ice Cube. I saw the one with him and what's the young girl name? The actress. I can't think of her name, but we'll show the video. And him and Taraji P. Henson. Let's go ahead and I want to show you Cameron Diaz. That's her name. I want to show you how he sat for majority of the interview with Cameron Diaz. Go ahead and roll that.
40, and it's clicking at this point in a way that it never has. Yeah.
All right. So in that interview with him and Cameron Diaz, there was absolutely zero attraction with Cameron Diaz and and Kevin Hart. When I say zero, the reason why we know there was zero attraction, energetically or otherwise, being through his eyes or energetically, there was zero attraction because for the whole interview, he remained seated with his back this way. So she did not evoke in him that masculine pulling forward. He was definitely there to do a job. That is it, okay? In this video with Cameron Diaz. The same thing with Ice Cube, except for not that there's an attraction there, but you'll notice that his behavior was still back. He still sat back in this interview. Let me play this clip of him and Taraji P. Henson, and let's see what we get here. Go ahead, run that.
And by checked a lot of boxes, you've shown your range. You've shown.
Well, levels, I am edgy, but not in my work.
Levels on levels.
Clean that up. Yeah,
levels on no.
Listen to him. Don't listen to him.
So, as you guys will see, this is my homegirl, this is my friend, this is my homie, this is my sister. This is I'm hanging out with the boys, but more than you're hanging out with Ice Cube, it's definitely different than the interview that you had with Jay-Z. Jay-Z with those wide spray legs and that wide open shoulders let you know that he's a boss. This is the openness to the boss, means that the guy is taking up much space in his environment. A man who is taking up much space in his environment is very confident and very well aware. Kevin Hart was mimicking or matching Jay-Z's open, wide shoulders. This is a thing that men do when they're, who got the biggest chest. That's a natural thing to do. So when I looked at in the Jay-Z video, I noticed that he remained back this way and he was mimicking Jay's ability to spread that chest open. So even though he was back in the chair, that chest was open to let Jay know that you are also in front of a peer. That's a masculine language for a man telling another man that I respect you, I honor you, but hold up, I've arrived too. Which is pretty cool to see that Kevin Hart has that ability to show that he can take up just as much space too. But I realized that even though he was showing that he could take up space, he still remained back. And so that's just my proof that when we're looking at Cameron Diaz, when we're looking at Ice Cube, when we're looking at Jay-Z, when we're looking at the interview with Saweetie, I want you guys to take a look at that and you'll notice that the masculine comes forward because there's an energy that she has that awakens that let me talk to you. Let me come to you. Let me come and get you. That's what I mean when I say to you guys, when a man wants you, and this is something different, but I want you guys to stay right there, okay? When a man wants you, or when he craves you, when he desires you, he comes for you, because that's what women do. We're supposed to evoke in the masculine, or wake up the masculine energy, and then we start the exchange happen. But we do that down there, the base chakra. Our sister girl here, Miss Saweetie, was very well aware of the system that we normally talk about here on this channel, and I was really happy. And I was telling my son, I was like, did I ever have a call with Saweetie? Because she is on point. But anyway, so she's aware of how that works, but she's also aware that she's doing that coming forward, okay? I'm going to tell you how I know she's aware of it. Before I tell you that she's aware of it, I want you to take a look at this picture of his interview with Cameron Diaz. Take a look at the eyes, take a look at the placement of the leg. Go ahead, run that. Okay, so back to Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz, although beautiful in the face, she still was not able to awaken that inner masculine energy from the base chakra. Okay, she didn't do that. But what I want you guys to understand here is when I saw both um, Sweetie and Kevin having this interview, I saw Sweetie come out with this very vulnerable, let's talk. We're gonna go deep, but I'm also gonna be the cool girl because you can see in my dress that I'm relaxed enough, right? I saw her do that, setting the stage, and then she brought him forward to her by activating her base chakra. Now, what do you mean by that, Karima? If you guys pay close attention, if you've been watching this channel long enough, you know that I try to show you guys women who have similar energies, okay? If you haven't realized, Saweetie, outside of her performance life, let's not go there. We're talking about what she presented on that stage in this interview. What she is presenting is an energy that is very reminiscent to an energy that Kevin already knows. Hear me. The energy that she carries is very much like the energy that Kevin already knows, and that is his current wife. The energy that Sweetie has is almost as if I'm looking at Aniko, I believe that's her name. It's almost as if I'm looking at Aniko's energetic body pre-baby one. Okay? Pre-baby one, this is the energy that attracted Kevin Hart to his wife, the very, you know, before they had their children. That energy that she's operating with, outside of what you see in the physical, she's working with that energy that Iniko had. It's very reminiscent. And so when Kevin Hart is coming forward, what I think is happening subconsciously is that he is remembering a time, he is remembering an energy, and so it feels familiar to him. And so he comes forward because her energy is familiar and he cannot help it. I don't care how many times he went back, there was double more the amount of times that he kept coming forward to be closer to the space. The other thing that you'll realize when a woman is activating her base chakra to cause that to happen, which Sweetie is very well aware of, okay, is that in this dialogue between the two of them, there's three things that you're going to witness. When a man's been activated in that base chakra. And there's a few times that she subconsciously does a natural flirting that happens for women who have connected energetically. And I'm going to tell you something, so stay right there, okay? Don't go to no, I'm trying to get it all out. When you have activated that, okay, just by sitting and being and chilling and drinking, it's very I've seen it happen a million times. I've had my own experience I'll share with you. But when Kevin is tapped in, there's three things that you're going to see a man do when they are activated at that primal instinct level. You're going to see the compliments, which is I want you to know how good you are just in case you don't believe how good you are, okay? You're going to see the compliments happen, okay? You are going to see the celebratory statements like, oh, good, your brand is dope. And I think we have a clip. Go ahead and roll it.
You do understand, like, that's the dope thing about your brand. Like, when you talk about this young demographic, you talk about, because of your honesty, the transparency, the authenticity. Will you stop covering your face like somebody throwing a baseball at you? You see?
So you're gonna see the compliments, you're gonna see the congratulatory, the recognizing you for what you do. That's when you activate the base chakra of the man. And then you're going to see something that I love. And we said it is the compliments, the congratulatory, congratulations on that, or that is pretty dope, or recognizing the greatness in you and appreciating that. And then you're going to find the last thing, and that is to comfort you. When I saw the comfort come in, I said, you better work that thing, Sweetie. Now, not so much working on this woman's husband. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what she is doing is she is seated in her feminine, her very own feminine. Everybody has their own energetic workings, and this is why the books are coming, so that you guys can understand not all women are the same. We don't all operate the same. But what Kevin Hart was in front of on this interview was he was in the front of his wife, Aniko, when he first met her energetically, is what we're talking about, okay? Very similar energy. And it is attracting to him. It is one that he cannot not be attracted to. It's a primal urge, a primal instinct. But what makes us great as human beings, what makes us great as good husbands and good wives, is that we get to choose if we act on it. There are some things that we don't get to choose, and that is what we do with our bodies when we are in the presence of someone who is working their energy. Okay, you can't control it. Okay, there's some things that are going to happen with your body that you are not even conscious or aware of. That is happening. It is natural. You cannot stop attraction. I don't care how married you are. You cannot stop someone energetically being attracted to someone's energy. You can't stop that. But what we can do, and what is in our control, is what we do with what we feel. That's what's most important, and that's why I'm teaching you guys this stuff here. So, how I knew she was very much aware of the energy she possessed is that was at the moment when he was at the congratulatory moment. He was congratulating her on the McDonald's and so forth. And he said, well, go ahead, run it, play it.
Will you stop covering your face like somebody throwing a baseball at you? You see?
At the moment I realized that she was aware that she had activated that base chakra and he was responding, that coming forward. She I don't know if she did it deliberately, but she was very well aware that it had happened, because there's a moment where he's in the midst of congratulating her about the McDonald's thing, or he's asking her why does she have her hands face up, and she said, well, something about my smile, okay? But after that, about a couple of moments after that, when she got settled into that comment, she received it energetically, okay? But she crossed her legs and she lifted up that wine glass and she looks over, and that is femininity, okay? That's the kind of femininity that other women are afraid of. If you are in front of my husband and you do that, I am very well aware that, oh, that is a woman at work. Am I afraid? No, I have never had a jealous spirit before. So I am a little weird when it comes to that, but I know what to do when it arrives, okay? But understand that your husband, your boyfriend, your mate, they're every day we're all coming in contact with energy that is seeking, that is searching. Every last one of us are seeking and searching. Even when somebody has already been got, the woman's natural response is to be seeking and to be searching, okay? Even when she's not consciously seeking and searching, the primal instincts, the primal urges in her is seeking and searching. It's looking to mate. Okay, we're talking about the animal kingdom here, not just man and female. Now that we said all of that about Sweetie and Kevin Hart, he did very well at this interview. He was very well a man. He came forward, he complimented, he congratulated, and he comforted. He did all of the things that a man who's been activated at the base chakra by a woman seated in her femininity. That's what happens when that happens. You guys just learned that today. I'm going to give you, by answering a question by my girl Tammy, I'm going to give you 3 foods to never feed your mate, your husband, or your lover, okay? The first one is garlic and onion. It's prohibited. You'll see it in the book coming out. I'm going to tell you why it's prohibited. If you have a man who's going through a lot of stress, he got a lot of chaos going on at work, he got a lot of chaos going on at the house, he's financially struggling, the last thing you want to feed him is garlic and onion, okay? Garlic and onion agitate and or causes energy of rage to evoke. So if in fact you are cooking food for your mate, your lover, your boyfriend, and so forth, please try to stay away from the onion and the garlic, the shallots, and the green onion. Stay away from those foods when you have someone in your life that is going through a lot, okay? What you want to feed him is more cooling foods, and that will be all expressed in the new book that's coming out. I haven't energetically decided when I'm going to do that just yet. I'm waiting for a shift to happen, okay? But I just wanted to share that with you. Garlic, onion, shallots, and I said 3 things, right? Oh my God, I just went onion, shallots, green onion, and garlic. It causes that agitation. Feed cooling foods, okay? Cooling foods is things like cucumber or tahini, or cooling foods. We'll talk more about that later, okay? So that's just something I wanted to share to answer my sister Tammy's question. What kind of foods would Asana feed her mate, her lover, her husband before they would engage in some sort of a spiritual sexual exchange, okay? The first thing that she's going to feed him is something with a nutmeg or cinnamon, okay? To sweeten, to ripen. So that can be I don't know, porridge. That could be candied yams. Oh my goodness! If you want sweetness in your relationship, offer candied yams or a yam or a sweet potato, and use honey and those kind of things to sweeten up it. And I can tell you this from my very first book, you guys, how I talked about how a woman tasted my first book, and it all comes from what you were eating, okay? Asana was really deep into that because the elder, you'll see that in this last book, okay, what she ate, what her diet was like, much in line on what we wrote in my book from 20 years ago. If you've been around for a long time, you know what that's about. But the same thing happens to when you're feeding your lover, what you put into his system, what he puts into his system. All of that is going to determine the inner workings and moving of the energy and how it moves and how we relate to one another. So just be very conscious that if you already know that your man or your mate or your lover is going through some things, having some tough time, please lay off of the garlic, please lay off the onion and the shallots just for a little while, okay? And then you want to replace that with cooling foods, okay? Make him a cucumber smoothie in the morning before he goes off to work. Oh my goodness. So what I'm saying is that once you make him that smoothie in the morning, he'll be calling you by afternoon and say, "I hope you're having a fantastic day, babe. I love you." Those are things that we can control. The stuff that we put in our body, absolutely, it can control moods. Absolutely, it can control how we're feeling. Absolutely, it is responsible for the inner workings of how hormones interact with one another, how deficiencies can possibly cause about depression and so forth. So just be more conscious of what you put into your body. Be conscious of your lover and all of that good stuff. Anyway, I love you guys. Let's make it to 500 so we can get that community tab, you guys. 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, 500. I can't wait. Until next time, I love you guys. Bye.